Bismillah, alhamdulillah, thumma salatu wa salam ala rasulil karim Muhammad bin Abdullah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man ittaba bi ihsanihi ila yawmiddin. Our topic is invalidators of fasting. Invalidators of fasting. I believe you know what is invalidators of fasting. Julie, what is word mean? Invalidators of fasting? Huh? No. Yama, what does this word mean? Invalidators of fasting. The thing that will spoil your fasting. Invalidators mean the thing that will spoil your fasting, that will break your fasting, that will destroy your fasting. When you do those things, when these things happen, your fasting will be cancelled. That means invalidators. Is that understood? Whenever you heard this word invalidators of fasting, that means the things that will invalidate your fasting, will spoil your fasting. And Muslims have to be very, very careful during the Ramadan, certain things, to not to come closer to the certain things. If not, your fasting will be spoiled. If not, your fasting will be invalid, and it's not necessary. One day you spoil your fasting, you intentionally break your fasting. It's a major sin. It's a major sin, which your sin will not be forgiven, or it will be difficult for your sin to forgive until you do kafara. And I remember last time we talked about what is kafara or fidya. Invalidate. He said the following things do invalidate fasting, and these are the following things. The following things, they invalidate your fasting. First one, read Aminata.
Eating or drinking.
Eating or drinking deliberately. And Muslims, you may forget you eat or you drink unintentionally. You, especially the first on the second day of Ramadan, people will forget and drink or you eat. That will not invalidate your fasting. That will not spoil your fasting. But someone eats or drink it intentionally, your fasting is spoiled. For example, you come to school. If you come to school, you tell your parents I'm fasting. You come to school, you have attendance with you. You go and buy bread. You eat until your belly is okay. You go home, you tell your parents I'm fasting. That is eating deliberately. That's eating. Or you drink deliberately. That will totally spoil your fasting, totally invalidate your fasting, and it's a major sin. Remember, I tell you, if you do one of these things, and your fasting will be spoiled, and you committed a major sin, a very great sin, big sin for that matter. The second one, intercourse. There is no intentionally sexual intercourse. The moment you act the sex, you do sex, your fasting is spoiled. With your husband or with your wife, the moment you act this intercourse, your fasting, it will be spoiled. That's why during the Ramadan, especially the day of Ramadan, when you are fasting, you distance yourself from your husband or from your wife. You distance yourself from them in the case situation, because the moment this act has committed by you, your fasting is spoiled, and you commit a sin. You commit a major sin. Why don't you wait until night time if can? But this day, during the daytime, is totally forbidden. It's totally haram for someone to come closer to do certain acts that will lead you to have a sex with your wife or with your husband. It's totally haram, and it will cause you, it will be a major sin. The third one said menstruation. The one will see every month the menstruation. The moment you see the menstruation, your fasting will spoil automatically. Last time I remember telling you, even if you are fasting, like let's say 30 minutes before fasting end, let's say we break our fasting 7:15, and 6:45 you happen to see your mens, your fasting is spoiled, and you have to drink, eat, and then you pay that particular days. Those days you pay that particular. The moment you see your mens, your fasting is spoiled. Your fasting is spoiled. You have to drink. You cannot see your mens and say I will continue with that fasting. No, you drink. Even you drink, is like you go somewhere and drink. Break your fast, because your fast is already broken. So whether you drink or you don't drink, it's all the same. Your fasting is cancelled. So you have to go and drink. If you have food, you eat, right? Because when this happens, when you see your mens, your fasting is totally spoiled. And you cannot fast during this menstruation period. During the menstruation period until it's finished. The third one say nifas. Nifas is the Arabic word. mean a blood of delivery. When a woman give birth, she will be experienced, she will be seeing a blood for a certain period of time. Let's say so it can be 10 days, it can be 20 days, it can go up to the 40 days. That blood during those times. During those times, she is not allowed to fast. When she is seeing that blood of delivery, that blood is totally different from the man's blood. They are different blood. But when she is seeing this blood, she should not fast. As the same thing applies to the men. She should not come closer to her husband, and she do not do tawaf, and so on, pray. She should not pray, so on and so on and so on. She should not do that. So when this happened, when the moment she give birth, that the fasting is spoiled, is cancelled. She is not allowed to continue. And when if as far as she's seen the blood, she cannot fast. She cannot fast. As far as she's seen the blood of delivery, she cannot fast. Okay? Intentionally vomiting. When someone vomit, the vomiting did not spoil your fasting. Only vomiting did not spoil your fasting. But if you do it intentionally, that will spoil your fasting. If you vomit intentionally, that will spoil your fasting. In exam, when you are writing, you don't write vomiting. When they ask you the thing that validators of fasting or the thing that will spoil your fasting, don't write vomiting only, but you must act intentionally. As far as here also, don't write eating or drinking only, but deliberately. Sometimes when someone eats, not deliberately, the fasting is not spoiled, but you must act deliberately eating. And vomiting also intentionally. When you vomit without intentionally, that will not spoil your fasting. Something happened to you, vomit, or you are sick, and then you are still fasting, or you vomit. In that case, your fasting always will not spoil until you vomit deliberately. Number 6.
Deliberate discharge of
semen. Deliberate discharge of semen is another name of sperm. We call it sperm. Semen is a general name. The sperm is a cell inside the semen. Semen is the liquid. The entire liquid is called semen. But the cell inside that semen is called sperm cell. So deliberately discharge of this semen or sperm, your fasting will be spoiled. And this can happen with someone in different ways. By masturbation yourself, by fingering yourself until you discharge someone, that will happen. That will spoil your fasting. You know that automatically. By watching certain movies, that will lead you to have this one, that will lead you to discharge someone, or discharge sperm, that will automatically spoil your fasting. And it's a major sin. It's major sin. Or by doing certain things that will lead you do someone. When he said deliberately, it's not like when you are sleeping a dream, you have a web dream. That's you see sperms in your body. It doesn't mean that do not spoil your fasting. That is not intentionally, or that is not a deliberately. We are talking about a deliberately. You do certain things. You know that this will lead me to discharge someone, and you do it. Will spoil your fasting. These are some of the things. There are many. There may be many. There are many. Like we said, when you go injection will also spoil your fasting. When you go to the hospital, they inject you. Or you drink the medicine, that will spoil your fasting. Giving blood, like pint of blood, you give it, that will break your fasting. You donate a blood, donation of blood, and so on and so on. Certain things will spoil your fasting. But we limited 6 things for you. These are the 6 things that will definitely spoil your fasting. These are not all, but these are the 6 things we limited for you. Muslims, when you are fasting, you have to distance yourself. I tell you, I'm repeating again, you have to distance yourself. Everything that can possibly lead your fasting to spoil. But we have to engage ourselves with the purity, to purify our heart, to purify ourselves, to come closer to Allah by listening to the Quran, by reciting Quran, by doing dhikr, astaghfirullah, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, by doing this kind of thing, by listening to the advice or giving advice, by giving charity, so on and so on, by trying to forgive each other, not to have hard feeling inside your heart. The Muslims, during the not entirely